On this video right here, what's going on YouTube? Yeah, I know the lighting kind of crazy in here. Let's see if we can get it a little better. But yeah, pretty much what I want to come and talk to y'all today about is the awakening and how that awakening might feel to you when you first coming into your higher awareness, right? For me, it was different. Man, I almost felt like somebody was trying to kill me. I was with a narcissist, and at the time I didn't know that they was a narcissist. I knew a lot of things wasn't right with them, and I was sticking around for the kids, But I was out of town working, and I came home, and she was like, I cooked your favorite meal, which was unusual because she usually don't do anything that I like her to do. That's how narcissists is. They oppose you. They love to do the opposite of what you want. So this particular day, I was in Texas when I was coming back to Mississippi where I was living at the time. And she was like, yeah, I cooked your favorite meal. So I sat down and ate it. I usually I have a bathroom that is my personal bathroom at the house, and I smoke in that bathroom. So after I ate, I went in that bathroom to smoke me a cigarette. So I'm in there smoking, and I passed out. Yeah, I passed out. Like, I don't know if I had a stroke, heart attack, or just a near-death experience. What could have happened to me? But all I know is that I entered the spiritual realm. And when I first got to the spiritual realm, I had to enter into this door, but it was a lion sitting there. But the lion wasn't like aggressively moving towards me or any type of way that I had any fear. I didn't feel the fear of the lion at all. But I had to walk past that lion to get into the afterworld or whatever, into the heavens or whatever. And so when I first went there, to make a long story short, I met God, and I was on this boat, and my pastor was on this boat, and one of the ministers that was going to the church that I went to at the time was on this boat with me, and there was some other people on the boat as well. And so when we got to the gates of heaven, everybody had to go their separate ways. Everybody got to go in front of the Lord on their own. And so when I went in front of God, I was telling him about all my good deeds that I did. And I was saying, I go to church, I be doing my Christian rap thing at different churches, investing into people, helping people uplift their life, as far as giving them jobs through the business that I created, bringing people to church. I'm married. I'm not out here fornicating and living in the life of sin. I had quit smoking weed at the time. I did smoke cigarettes still. And so in my mind, I was an uppity Christian who thought I was just better than everybody else. I thought, because I don't do this and I don't do that, and I'm in church and I hang around the saints, that I'm better than people. Not as far as better than them, because before I got saved, I used to dislike that church people look down on people. So it wasn't that I looked down like I was better than them. I just was kind of uppity. Like, I felt like me keeping the laws and the commandments of God is what was going to save my soul. And in the midst of everything that was going on in the spirit realm, I had lost sight of Jesus Christ at that moment. I was just worried about my deeds, what I did, what I didn't do, And I was running it all down to God, like, yeah, you need to let me in because of woo, 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 woo. And I got denied to get in heaven. Yeah, God denied me to come into heaven. And pretty much I had to go to hell. But as soon as I got in hell, I remembered that I got Jesus and I know Jesus. And I started speaking his name. I said, Jesus. I said, hold on, now I know Jesus. And instantly when I came to the realization that I know Jesus and I started speaking his name, I was brought out of hell and I was brought into the presence of God, and God anointed me, and he used, God is energy off the top, the source of energy. So what I'm seeing in this dream as God is like a pillar it's like I'm not seeing a person, I'm seeing a function of the source of all energy, an energy source. It is pillars, and it's just energy so bright that you can't even almost look onto it fully into the midst of it. But you know that that's God. And it's just an energy source. And so I come back in front of God and I'm like, yeah, I know Jesus. I got Jesus in me. I'm saved. I knew that Jesus died for my sins, and that got me in heaven. And, I had some other things that went on in this dream, but then I awakened. From that point on, I was awakened. I was a different person. I did not wake up the same person that went in that bathroom and smoked that cigarette. And I know it because other people would tell me, something changed about you, man. What's going on with you? Something changed. I mean, it was like, at the time, I was like in the gym working out every day, and I would be like benching like 360. And the next day I tried to go to the gym, I couldn't even throw a 180. Something had happened to me. Something had broken inside of me. I could feel it. It was broken. I wasn't able to perform mentally, spiritually, physically at the rate that I was performing at before this incident. But what I did notice is when I first awakened, and I was telling my wife, who was a narcissist, I didn't know at the time, I'm not with her now, but I was telling her, like, yo, I think something happened to me. I maybe had a stroke or heart attack or something. I just almost died. I pretty much did just die. And some way I came back, you know what I'm saying? As I'm telling her that, the look on her face is like, why didn't you die? Nigga, why you didn't die? That's how she was looking at me. It was like, instantly when I came about, I could read people better. I always had an anointing and good intuition, and I was always on point. But after this, I was like, I could read straight through people without a doubt. Like I didn't doubt it no more. I used to probably doubt myself sometimes when I read people, but I didn't doubt it no more. I could read her. I had $1 million life insurance policy at the time. She would have got $700,000. My sister would have got $300,000, and they would have both had to take care of my 16-year-old. That was by my ex-wife at the time. And so, he's 16 now. At the time, he would have been, 11, 12 or something like that. And so, instantly I started seeing her mask. Through the mask, I could see that she didn't look the same. I was no longer susceptible to her manipulation or her tricks or her narcissistic game. It was like I was up on game. I hadn't studied narcissism yet, but the first thing I picked up on was the passive aggressiveness, and I knew something wasn't right about that, and I started studying it. And I was like, okay, she's passive aggressive, but I still didn't know nothing about narcissism. So I just keep on reading and keep on reading and keep on realizing different things that she was doing. So by this time, she started realizing that I was awake, and she wanted to start going into the devaluation stage. She was ready to find somebody else because it was going to be harder to get narcissistic supply from me because I was waking up and I was becoming aware to the game that was being ran on me. So with that being said, We were supposed to be moving in like a few days closer to her people because she never wanted to work and she never got a job. But her auntie was telling me, yo, if you move to Florida, I'm gonna get her a job at the nursing home where I work at, and we'll go ahead and get her in school and get her on the right path. So I'm like, oh, that sounds good. So we moving to Florida to be closer to her family, because at the time we just had another kid, and so it was gonna be some people around to help her with the kid because we was in Mississippi and we didn't have no family out there. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. She from Brooklyn, New York, and we living in Mississippi, and I'm working in Texas. So we're gonna move closer to her family. We go to Florida, we get a house. Her auntie got a house right here. Her sister got a house next door, and we right next door to the sister. So we got 3 houses right next to each other, so they can help her out with the kids. So she can get to school. I'm trying to help her out. So I'm putting my life on hold, pretty much trying to put her in a position where she'd be okay with the kids. And so I get myself together, pack up the U-Haul. Because the U-Haul was outside when all this happened anyway, but it just took me a few days to get myself together. So we pack up the U-Haul, we drive it to Florida. And when I get to Florida, boom, and devaluation started instantly. She just switched up as soon as she get around her family, started talking about me like I ain't nothing, I don't do nothing for her. I done bought this woman 10 cars. She talking about, oh, you ain't never done nothing for me. Every car you bought me was raggedy. I done bought her a Land Rover. I done bought her all type of cars. She tear these cars up. And so, she's just going off, you this, you gay, look at your hair, look at your shoes, look at this. She doing all this in front of my sons. Okay, so when we first get to Florida, we having sex or whatever, we end up having another son. So I got 3 sons by her. I got 4 sons total. But she in front of my sons, like, yo, you was this, you was that, you ain't nothing. She just devaluing me or whatever the case may be. And so I left her. And then I went on my own journey to go get on my healing, I never really saw the discard, because I always discard the narcissist during the evaluation, even before I even knew I was dealing with narcissists. As soon as somebody started with that, you ain't this and you ain't that, and woo, talking about me from the head to my shoes, I'm got to be out. I ain't listening to that. I got self-love, and maybe my self-love wasn't on point as it is now, but I still have some level of, hey, yo, you ain't gonna be talking to me like that. If you're a man, I put my hands on you, but if you're a woman, I'm just gonna walk away and let you deal with your own issues on your own. And so, pretty much, after your awakening, it ain't over. You defeated that level of narcissist, but here come other narcissists, and it's on you to pick up on it as soon as you can and discard them. That is part of the lesson of being awakened. Being one of God's chosen ones, you're going to have to go through the fire. So they're going to talk about you, lie on you, call you everything but a child of God. They're going to talk about anything that they believe may be an open wound. Like if you tell them some things that the other narcissist did to you, they're going to do them exact same things to try to open the wounds or to try to get at you any way that they can. Because they know that you are already on point to some degree. Now their ego is going to still get them to try and get supply from you. But they hate you because they know you too strong and they know you too powerful. They know that you're an awakened empath. So they know that it's a good chance that you're going to tear their butt up and lead them with a real serious narcissistic injury. So just some parts of your awakening is people going to tell you that things are different. You're going to start being alone a lot more. Some of the people that's in your life going to turn against you. Some you just going to have to cut off because you're going to be able to see through the nonsense. So awakening is going to be, you're probably going to lose everything that you have and be God gonna give you everything new and better and more again. Because that's what happened shortly too after my awakening. I lost everything. I had 2 vehicles, nice home, marriage, kids. I lost all of that. I lost all of that. My health at one point in time, I had to get myself back in shape. I lost everything. You know what I'm saying? I got everything back again now. You know what I'm saying? But I lost everything. You know, my house, my cars, my kids, my wife, everything got taken away from me. You know, after my awakening. But that was because God was positioning me to the position that I'm in right now. So all the things that I thought was valuable, all of the worldly things that I thought was I couldn't live without, I had to let them things go. I had to let them people go so that God could position me around the people that I'm supposed to be around with the things that I'm supposed to have. And the things, I never lost my faith. That's a big part of being chosen. One way that you can tell that you're chosen, you never lose your faith. After all the stuff that you went through, you see all of your friends changing religions. They trying to send you videos to try to get you to change your religion. People treat you like a dog. People hurt you. You lose everything. You got everything. And through it all, you still stuck by God like He stuck by you. And that's what make you chosen. Is you sticking by God through all of the trials that's coming, because you can't be chosen without the trials. So if you can't handle the trials, you definitely can't handle being chosen. So these are just some of the things to be aware of when you having your spiritual awakening. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Y'all enjoy y'all good day.